You've probably seen the YouTube videos of people talking about their successfully published books on Amazon KDP. But what about the books that didn't make the cut? In this video, I'm going to be showing you behind the scenes my worst selling books of 2024 and why they did so poorly. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Taylor the Ecom RN. I started self-publishing books on Amazon KDP in 2023, as well as selling physical products on Amazon FBA. I had enough success to leave my full-time job and focus on Amazon full-time, and I want to show you exactly how I did it and what it takes to succeed. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and check out my worst selling books for 2024. Okay, so I'm on my KDP Royalties Estimator account, and you can see here that in 2024, last year, I did about $28,000 in royalties across all of my books. I have currently 15 books published and for sale on Amazon KDP. But let's break this down and let's look at where things went a little bit sideways for me as I started my self-publishing journey. And the main point that I want you to take away from this video is something called your unfair advantage. Okay, your competitive edge. What gives you a leg up over the competition? So for me, in my case, if we pull up my authors here, you can see I've published under 3 separate authors on the same account. Now, I'm going to deselect this one, Creative Critters, and we're going to look at my Nurse Readiness Academy and my own brand. This was just a mistake on my part. This is my first published book. It's actually under this same brand as well, or same author, I should say, as well. And we can look at how much those books brought in last year relative to the whole. So you can see here, out of 15 books, 9 books fall under this category. And out of $28,000, these books brought in $25,500. So the overwhelming majority of my royalties came from this brand, or excuse me, this author account, which has to do with books for nursing students. Now, this is my unfair advantage. I am a nurse. I was formerly a nursing student, so I have insider knowledge, you could say, about the pains and the struggles of nursing students and how to solve them, how to offer them something that they find valuable. And you can see that that shows itself in the results. Let's contrast this with my other author page, which is Creative Critters, and you'll see where things went a little bit wrong. All right, you can see there are 6 books published under this author account, or excuse me, it's the same account, but under this author pen name, you could say. On Amazon KDP, you can have multiple pen names under your same author account. And so you can see there's 6 books and they accounted for $2,300. And remember, this is out of 28,000. So much, much, much less than my other author account. And let's take a look at these books here. So these books have to do with cats. That's the niche that I was in. We've actually looked at this one in a previous video. I used AI to write this book. And you can see here, if we come all the way down, the total royalties that I made in 2024 for this book, Mesmerizing Cat Mandalas, was $1.95, which means I sold 1 copy of this book in the entire year. So that's not very good. Let's look at what happened here and why I think that this has not been as successful as my other publications. So if you were to go on Amazon and type in cat coloring book, this would be the results that you would see. And you can come down here and you can see that here's a book with mandalas for cats, and here's another one with mandalas for cats. Okay, this was the book that I modeled mine after, okay? This book is a great seller, okay? It's on the first page. We can see its BSR here. This book's BSR is 57,000. And that's quite good. So this book is selling thousands of copies every month, generating a good chunk of royalties for this author. You can see they have a great looking cover. I really like this cover design. And let's compare this with my book. All right, here's my book. And you can see it's like a cheap knockoff of this cover. This cover just looks better. It's got a larger font here. It makes it clear that it's cats with mandalas. Mine is a little bit, I can't even barely read this. Mesmerizing is what that's supposed to say. It's hard to read. And then their little floral designs and the background design really make this pop in comparison. And if we come down here, you can see that this book, my book, has a bestsellers rank of 6 million, almost 7 million. So this is terrible. This book, like we saw, sold 1 copy in the entire year. So it's just getting destroyed in the rankings, makes hardly any sales. So as I was saying at the beginning of the video, I think this really speaks to having an unfair advantage. Now, when I publish these coloring books, I do not have any graphic design skills. So I have to outsource the cover, and I don't have any, Illustrator skills. I don't create any of the interior page designs. I also outsource the interior pages. I also don't really use coloring books for adults. That's just not something that I'm really into. So I don't really understand, what exactly people want when they're looking for these. And this was just a lot harder of a niche for me to enter into, especially in the beginning. If we come back to my royalties account here, you can see that I have had some more success as I progressed through these books. You can see I did have a couple that made some sales. So like these top 3 did 800, 750, and about $650 for the year, respectively. And these are all variations of cat books. These 2 in particular are coloring books for adults that are cat themed. So as I've been learning how to enter this niche and make coloring books for adults, I have had some improvement, but you can see that even then, it's nothing compared to the books that I have that unfair advantage of understanding the customer and understanding the market, right? As a nurse, I understand nursing students much better than I do adult coloring book lovers. However, my unfair advantage is very specific, and it's probably different from yours. So on the flip side, if you're someone who understands graphic design and you can work with things like Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, you could have a great competitive advantage in a marketplace like this because you can go ahead and create your own cover designs. Right? You wouldn't have to outsource that. And so the cost for you would be negligible. You would just be spending your time trying to come up with a better cover design. And if you are someone with graphic design skills, I'm sure you could do a pretty good job of competing with the other covers in your niche, whatever that niche might be. Or let's say you're an artist and you like making designs. Well, you could design the interior pages. I'll show you a great example of this over on Amazon. So here's an author page for someone that I really respect. I think this person makes some really cool books, Karen Sue Chen. And you can see here, she's an artist and she just applied herself to this self-publishing space by making coloring books. And so you can see she's developed her own unique style. She's doing her own cover designs, and she's also doing the interior designs as well. So for example, here in her A+ content, we can see some of the illustrations, and I would imagine that she could go ahead and color these in herself and just make them look great, right? Because she's an artist, she designed these coloring pages, and she's able to really make them pop. So if that is your unfair advantage, if you're an artist, then you could totally crush it in this space of adult coloring books. For example, if we look at this book's bestseller rank, it's all the way down at under 12,000. So this book is selling tons of copies, and this is just one of her many books. So when she gets fans, when people buy this book and they like it, they can come back to her author page and they can purchase multiple other books by her in various other niches and sub niches of adult coloring books. And now she's getting great royalties and repeat customers. So I hope that gives some context as to how you could be successful on Amazon as a self-publisher, and also shows that there's always a way to find your unique niche and to find your unique unfair advantage. What sets you apart from the competition and how you can outcompete others and make your book stand out. Now, one thing though is constant. And that is, you have to understand keyword research and you have to understand what is in demand. You have to be able to understand the market that you're coming into. You also have to understand some ad copy. You have to know how to sell these books. You have to write good bullet points. You have to write good ad copy here in your description. And of course, you're going to need some A+ content. So that's going to be a constant across Amazon if you want to be successful selling. You are going to have to understand product research. If you want more help with product research, I have other videos about that on this channel, or you can just book a one-on-one call with me and we can discuss product research, how I do it, the tools I use, and give you feedback on any ideas you might have. All right, that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If it gave you some insight, please leave a like. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and please subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my updates as I move forward with my Amazon seller journey. I want to remind you that I am still offering free one-on-one consultations, so if you'd like to book a call, click the link in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.